Alright, so in this video we're going to be simplifying radicals with coefficients. And the picture is a little blurry, but we're going to make do with it. So let's look at problem number 1. So we see it's 10 square root of 28. So we have a 10 as a coefficient, and we have 28 as our radical. So let's break this down using a tree method into its roots. So we have 2 and 14, 2 and 7. We know 7's a prime number. Nothing can divide it that further. And we have two 2's. So you have a group of two 2's. So using that information, what we can do is we can take these two 2's and multiply it by the coefficient 10 and leave with the radical 7. So it's going to be 10 times 2 times the square root of 7. So our simplification for 10 times the square root of 28 is going to be 20 times the square root of 7. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2 is negative 4 times the square root of 210. Now this one's a little tricky, and I'll explain why. So we're going to try breaking it down. We see 2 to 105. And 105, we're going to divide that by 3. And 105 divided by 3 is 35. Break down this 35 into 7 and 5. And we've broken it down into its most basic roots. We factorized it, and we can see that there's no groups. There's no two sets of 2 or two sets of 3 or two sets of 7. They're all 1, 1, 1, 1. So in some cases, for simplifying radicals, we actually can't. So in this case, the answer is going to stay the same as it is. The only way we can tell if it can't or if it can is if there are no groups of factors that are the same number. That means the radical cannot be factorized. Another example. Let's go back to problem 1. And let's say that for problem number 1, it was 10 to the cubic root of 28. And I'll show you another thing. So since we're looking for the cubic root, we have to find a pair of 3 2's. So if we break this down again to 14 to 7, we can't simplify this because there's not a group of 3 2's. There's only a group of 2 2's. So if we were presented with this problem, the simplification would be just this answer. Alright, so let's look at one more problem. Let's look at number 12. Number 12 is 9 times the square root of 50. Let's break down 50. 2, 25. 5, 5. Perfect. We know that 25 is a perfect square of 5. So it's 5, 5. So we have a coefficient of 9. So what we can do is we can take this group of 9 and multiply it by the coefficient. So for 12, our answer is going to be written as 9 times 5, 45. And then we have the remainder of 2 underneath the radical. So it's going to be 45 times the square root of 2.